Welcome back to Double Down University. I'm back with you guys with another MLB Prizepicks video for June the 14th. I have 4 props for you guys. If you guys watched and tailed the video yesterday, we went 2 for 4, almost 3 for 4 if it wasn't for Carlos Correa batting in the 9th inning and being able to get a walk-off home run to put him over hits, runs, and RBIs. We were on his under. He was 0 for 3 up until that point. I think he got a run tagged up and scored in the 3rd inning off of a grounder. I think it was either a fielder's choice or a ground out where it advanced the runner. But anyways, moving on to today. We have Tyler Glasnow over 1.5 walks allowed. We have Ben Lively over 1.5 walks allowed. We have Rafael Devers over 7.5 hitter fantasy score and Yandy Diaz over 7.5 hitter fantasy score. So let's get into it. First thing I always like to look at is where the batters that we are targeting is going to be batting in their respective lineups. So we have Devers batting in the 4-hole cleanup spot. A lot of RBI potential for him in this spot if either one of those top 3 hitters get on base. And then we also have Yandy Diaz in his normal standard leadoff role, being able to be the leadoff hitter in Tampa Bay's lineup. He gets on. Wander Franco, you have Josh Lowe, you have Rosarina, guys that could be able to knock him in and score him once he gets on base. So let's get into it. So in the 2 walks allowed picks that I have, they both fit the same situation. They both going up against home teams, against right-handed pitchers. So we have Kansas City. They are top 5 in walk percentage at 10.8%. And then we also have, we also have Oakland. They are top 5 as well in walk percentage against right-handed pitchers at home, 11%. So I really like this spot for both of them. Both with Lively and Glasnow, they have small sample sizes because I think Lively's only pitched 5 games out of the 7 games that he's pitched. He started in 5 out of 7, so has a small sample size. So a lot of these numbers are kind of skewed based on matchups. But as you can see, he has like a 6% walk rate. I expect that to go up. I expect some regression there. And then his K percentage, this is higher than it's been throughout his career, so I expect regression in his K percentage as well. So in this matchup, I really like these 2 to go over walks allowed. They can get wild at times and miss their target. And then, like I said, their K percentages are high to start the year based on a small sample size. So I do expect some regression on both sides. Now with Glasnow, he showed that he's been able to walk more batters than his normal throughout his career. Like early on in his career, he was struggling to locate where he had a 14% walk percentage, 12%, 11%. And then the last couple years, he's had it under 10. And then this year, he's slightly above 10 with 10.9. So I expect him to have just a little bit of trouble because he's a strikeout kind of pitcher who tries to strike everybody out or gets into those 0-2 counts. So if Oakland is able to work those counts back to full where it's 3-2, I expect him to be able to miss a couple times where he had just missed barely outside to be able to get those walks. And same thing goes for Lively. Both of these are situational depending on the counts and depending on what type of hitter they have in the box. Is a guy that's going to fight and work the count, or is it a guy that's going to be up 2-0 or 3-0 and be able to allow the pitcher to be able to pitch to him? So I really like those 2 for walks allowed. Moving on to our hitters portion. So we have Gomber going up against Devers. Now Gomber, he throws a sinker 1% of the time, so I kind of eliminated that pitch out of his arsenal and kind of stuck to his main top 3 pitches that he pitches is a 4-seam fastball, changeup, and curveball. So with that being said, the 4-seam, changeup, and curve, let's look and see how Devers hits those pitches. So 4-seam, he bats 241, which is okay. His curveball, he's actually batting 258, so that's pretty good as well. And then he also throws a changeup. Let's look at the changeup. He's batting 222, so middle of the pack, but he has pretty good slugging percentages on a lot of these pitches that he throws. He's had trouble with the four-seamer this year. As you can see, he has a 30% K rate on fastballs. And then I kind of also like to look at how the pitcher responds in an 0-2 count compared to that, handedness of batter. So Devers is a lefty, so an 0-2 count, he basically throws a curveball and fastball, but as you can see, it's 0-2 count. His curveball is being hit at a 500 clip, which is like 1 out of every two curveballs is getting hit in play for a hit. So I really like Devers in this spot. And then also Gomber is a lefty, and he's going up against a lefty on the road. So let's look at his splits against lefties. On the road, he is giving up a 270 batting average, and then Devers is almost batting 300 as he's batting 295 against lefties at home. So really, really good splits. And then also the weather is playing a good role and a good part in this, as this is the best hitting weather spot for today on the slate. As you can see, plus 34% increase in doubles and triples, especially playing at Fenway. You can hit off the Green Monster and be able to get a double out of that, or a triple, depending on if the fielder lose track of the ball or not. And then also run potential plus 12% on runs. So moving on to our next hitting candidate is going up against Luis Medina. He has a terrible hard hit percentage, terrible expected batting average, and a terrible K percentage. And he's going up against Yandy, who is the complete opposite of that. Hitting wise, he has a great hard hit percentage, a great expected batting average, as well as a great K percentage where he doesn't strike out a lot. And that's what you want, guys, to limit non-competitive at bats where it's a strikeout, a pop up, or like a fly out. Limit those type of at bats to be able to get us over. He's not necessarily a steal guy. Like he's not really a guy to steal a base, but he has potential to be able to hit doubles, singles, or not doubles and singles, but doubles, home runs, things of that nature. And then also park factor plays a part in this too. They are playing in the Oakland Coliseum, and if you guys know anything about the Oakland Coliseum, that is a big park that allows for extra base hits, doubles, singles. Let me see. I don't think they have it here. Let me see if I go to parks. Oakland. So Oakland, as you can see, they're always going to be one of the top parks in doubles and triples, just because of how big like the gaps are in center and right center. So I expect Yandy to be able to just put hard contact onto Medina and be able to make him work. If he doesn't get walked, I expect him to get an extra base hit and score. So I really, really like Yandy in this spot as well. So those are my four. I go over them again. I have Tyler Glasnow over 1.5 walks allowed. I have Ben Lively over 1.5 walks allowed. I have Devers over 7.5 hitter fantasy score. Yandy Diaz over 7.5 hitter fantasy score. So I appreciate you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if I find anything for the later slate of games, like the 9:40s, I know the Yandy and the Lively, I think, are the late games. Well, no, the Tampa Bay, Oakland, that is a late game. So if I find anything in between or in like the 7 o'clock start times, if I find anything, I'll post another video. But I appreciate you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.